Good morning. Thank you for watching our video today. I'm excited. Today's a chance I get to show a Bowie knife. And I was thinking as I was getting ready for this video, America is a very young country compared to the rest of the world. The world has literally had thousands of years to create and develop different knives, swords, blades. So anything that needed to be made has been made. So there's not been much in the way of opportunity to make anything new, especially if we were to try to consider something as an iconic American blade. I know we could consider the K-bar as an iconic American blade. There are some folding knives, the old timer and the buck, that we could consider that. I would put the Bowie knife probably as the most famous in that category. The Bowie knife became famous because of Jim Bowie, who is one of the defenders of the Alamo. He died back in 1836 when the Alamo fell. 9 years before that, he was involved in a large fight in Mississippi, I believe, and he was known for using a very large knife to defend himself. And he almost died in that fight, but it became famous because the different newspapers took the story and began to publish it. And a lot of people started talking about it, and it kind of converted into like a folk story, a folk legend, and it spread from there. And that's where the root of the Bowie knife took place. What makes the Bowie knife famous, because of it, well, in addition to its size, is the frontiersmen and the mountain men of the time. Remember, this back in the early 1800s. They needed to have one knife that could pretty much do anything they needed. So they could definitely use it for fighting, but they could also use it for doing light wood chopping. They could skin the animals. They could cut up meat. They could pretty much use it for whatever they needed to. So it filled that need, that niche that they had at the time, and pretty much everybody started making them and carrying them in this style. So I wanted to let me get this out of the way. This is uh, my version of this that I have, and I think it's beautiful. The only problem I have with this is it's actually so pretty that I would never want to use it. This blade is 10.5 inches long. It's D2 steel. If you can see, it has like a perfect mirror polish on it. You could almost use this to shave in. The blade on the Bowie knife, has the long blade, it has the clipped edge point. It's very guidable and movable. And if you need to use it to fight with, the point is very good on it. Like I said, this blade is 10.5 inches long. On mine, the handle is 6 inches long. And this is made out of resin, solid black resin. And you can see there's a really large handle on here. This is a big knife. There are different knives that just fit good in your hand, and I've mentioned that. Um, this particular one, it feels like the universe just wanted this knife to fit good in the hand. So if you have a larger hand, this really works well on it. This knife, this is a monstrosity. It is 1 pound, 8 ounces, so it's 1.5 pounds of solid steel pretty much. So the steel on here is D2. They have a brass decorative edge that was put on here, and I think it makes it look really beautiful. Um, the problem is this knife is so pretty and it's capable of doing anything I need it to, but I would never use it because I don't want to mess it up. So if I were to go camping, I would never use this and pound on it to be able to split wood or anything, because that would just mess up all this in this absolutely perfect blade that it has. The guard on here is steel. The pommel is also steel, and he put on here a pommel that's called a skull cracker. So if you ever need to, I guess if you're fighting, you could also use that, and you could, bang, get somebody over the head with that, and that would do some serious damage too. But this is just a big, wonderful, beefy blade, and it's the only example of a Bowie knife I have. I mean, there are many, many different kinds right now. and different models and styles available, but they all have the same basic concept of just a very large blade. Again, this is like 2 inches long on here. So this is, again, one of my favorites. I have lots of favorites, but this is definitely one of them. And I'm glad I had the chance to share it with you. Again, if anybody has any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below or let me know. I hope everybody has a wonderful day today. Again, thank you for taking the time to watch this, and I will see you in my next video.